All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Watson now on second down. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Watson. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Wentz to throw on second down. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Hey, other side, solid.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Good work that time to get them to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it. Wentz finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Hines. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Run. Go.
Play action. Now Wentz. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. In for the score. And the Jags have taken the early lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Now the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On second down, here's Watson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gritty play there. Put his nose down and got his guys a first.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Watson now to throw. And he's going to go down again.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Fielded just inside the 30. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a 1st down on the punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Yeldon. And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Jacksonville 1st down on a pickup of 17.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him? without weakening our overall defense. You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And an alley to run. Boom. Still fighting through. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Spinning away. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. And typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. To throw on second is Watson. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Derek Rivers in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Now Watson. And that is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
That's taken on the 25. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On first down, Wentz finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Jaguars. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Watson on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And it's second down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Man open. That's Kiki QT complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Back 22.
On first down, Watson. Throw left side, complete to QT. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. First down throw, Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans get a bit closer. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Ram.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Wentz. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll run it now out of the gun. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Open man right side is Shark. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
On 1st and 10, Watson. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Derek Rivers in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. 3rd and long, it's Watson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Jaguars getting set to go. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it's...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now, he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
This is Hines. And an alley to run. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Nyheim Hines with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. The extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off around the 41, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They start on the ground with Hines, and 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
I can't believe they let you
Working from the gun. Wentz throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. Wentz now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Lion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Two jet.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Here's Wentz to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After the interception, here's Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to...
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with the coach and our EA Sports halftime report. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They begin the drive with Hines. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Snap coming at 1. Now Wentz. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to have a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Jaguars on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now a play fake. Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
To me, the defense was a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. This is fielded at the 27. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Watson. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Sam Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 6 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. The open man is Shark. It's complete. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver If you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Come on now, all right. Come on now. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Two jet.
They run again with Hines. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a gain of 4, but they're still looking up here at a tough 3rd and 11.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the 1st down, and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jaguars continue to roll. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And it's taken in at the 9. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads will be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to leave the booth.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Set. 120. Lion. Set.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
In my book, that's running the ball well but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. It sets them back for second down.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Four down. Hey, over here.
Now it's Hines. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now out comes Houston. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Green, they're down. Green, they're down.
Out of the gun, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? From the gun, here's Watson. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. This is taken at the 18. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 6.
Watch 82. Watch 82. He likes to sneak out late. Watch 82. Show it up. Show it up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he fields it cleanly. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Back to throw, Watson. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Target.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Watson from the gun, he'll throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
On 3rd down, that's Hines, and he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end.